After I posted my custom-made werewolf cards on LinkedIn, many have asked, how exactly do I effectively use werewolf in a language classroom? So I made this video. I was made aware of a version where the werewolf points at those who are to be killed, but that seems boring and unhelpful to me. That might work for beginners, CEFR levels A1, A2 and B1 students. I prefer playing werewolf with B2 and C1 students. I have other games for the lower levels. Post on comment if you want a video on those games. There are many ways to play, but I do it like this. If you have a digital setup, or you can use your phone as well, play a werewolf ambience music on YouTube for an appropriately spooky backdrop. This game can be dark, and the music should reflect that. Adds to the experience of deceit and betrayal. The class must be seated in a horseshoe formation. The students are given their cards, told to remember their roles and keep the cards down, and make sure others don't see your card. You should probably explain the roles before handing out the cards, but since I'm explaining the rules to fellow teachers, I'll get back to the roles. As the moderator, take back the cards and mark the roles on a sheet of paper. You will need to keep track of everything. Easiest way is to see how the students are seated and vertically write their names like this. In the morning, the group votes out a sacrifice, and at night, the magic happens and people die. In the morning, people should talk and discuss, which would ideally include accusing others, defending themselves, and speculating on the various possibilities. You can set a time limit for the morning discussions, but I have found it to be organic to just let the conversations flow till they reach a conclusion. Werewolf is a social deduction game, so be sure not to pass out information willy-nilly. As the moderator, say only what is necessary. Werewolves can win if any werewolf is the last one alive. One werewolf can die but still win if the other one survives till the end. This provides an incentive for the dead werewolf to lie as a ghost. Villagers can win once all werewolves are dead. There are exceptions to the winning rule. At night, everyone gets to write a name on a small piece of paper. Oh yes, you should probably cut up some paper before starting the game. Use paper which is set aside to be recycled. Paper which has been printed on only one side. So, here are the roles. The werewolf or werewolves will write the name of someone they want to kill. A werewolf cannot kill another werewolf, but everyone else is fair game. Terms and conditions apply, of course.
Of course. Of course.
The healer will write the name of someone they want to save from an werewolf attack. But writing their own name won't work, because according to medical researchers, performing surgery on yourself can be a bit tricky. Also, they can heal someone from one werewolf attack per night. So, if two werewolves attack the same person, the healer's efforts won't be enough. The hunter will write the name of someone they think is a werewolf and want to kill them. Guessing correctly kills the werewolf. Guessing incorrectly kills the innocent villager as well as the hunter, making it a high-risk role. The hunter can also leave it blank if they are unsure on who is a werewolf. If a hunter and a werewolf try to kill each other, the werewolf will die. The witch can see the future of others. They will write a name of someone they suspect to be a werewolf, and they can see them on the next night, either peacefully sleeping or savagely killing. Having taught multinational students in London, I was told by some students that the witch is also known as a seer in other versions of the game. They are functionally very similar. These are the most important roles, and the rest can be human villagers. But I suffer from world builder's disease, which has led me to create even more roles. The angel will try to get sacrificed. This exception allows the angel to win over everyone, villagers and werewolves alike, if they can get sacrificed by the villagers. Getting killed by a werewolf won't achieve the goal. The game ends when the angel wins. The little girl is innocent, but can be corrupted to the dark side. As you can see the picture, I had Little Red Riding Hood in mind when I made the card. I'll admit it, I've always been kinda scared of little girls, maybe because I watched a lot of Japanese horror as a kid. Anyway, if there is only one werewolf alive, trying to kill the little girl will turn her into a werewolf, and from that point, she changes teams and is effectively a werewolf. The farmer can find out the number of humans by checking the food consumption. From the second day, the farmer is able to check the food by revealing their identity as the farmer. They will directly ask the moderator and find out the number of humans. They can do this every day apart from day 1, but this also paints a target on them for the werewolves to aim at. I have other roles, but these should be enough. I don't use all of them for every game. The villagers, the hardest of the roles. Their power lies in the morning vote. It is important to have 30 to 40% of the roles be villagers, just so at the end of the first day you can ask the villagers to raise their hand and watch as almost everyone does. Also, having just one villager will make it easier to deduce their identity, which can ruin the game. Your goal is to hide the powerful roles among common human villagers. Also, those who die can speak and participate as ghosts, but they cannot physically interact with proceedings. They cannot vote in the morning or write names at night. So, even if they die, they can still join in the conversation. And as a teacher, forcing a student to stay silent just feels wrong. As the teacher, you monitor as the students sacrifice someone each morning, or they are free to not sacrifice anyone as well. And at night, you collect the papers and let everyone know who died. You can build the suspense however you want. I usually go, 9 people went to sleep, only 6 people woke up. When the students are discussing in the morning, you should be listening and finding errors. And later you can provide individual feedback on improving specific grammar points. I have found the game helpful in noticing errors and assigned exercises to students later. They make more mistakes when they are not focused on academic dialogue with the teacher. It's as if their subconscious points out the errors to make them more noticeable, which helps a lot. As a teacher, I want students to make mistakes in class, so I can correct them and hopefully they won't make mistakes in exams or in wider society outside the classroom. I remember pointing students to exercises on tenses from Grammar in Use. That is the game, basically. You don't really need these sleek printed cards to play. I used to use folded paper to play the game in class. I recently designed, printed, and laminated these because as a kinesthetic learner myself, I like the feel of physically holding them. Usually I would introduce language on accusing or defending someone, critical thinking, deduction and speculation throughout the week. Lessons about honesty and white lies and body language might also be helpful. And on Friday we would play the game, so students can practice the language learned within a non-academic scenario. For an advanced student cohort, the next day you could teach concepts on scapegoating and groupthink and how fear and anxiety can manipulate human perception. Here are some instances from my memory. Once, the little girl revealed her identity on day 1, hoping everyone would protect her. The villagers ended up sacrificing her, fearing the werewolf would turn her at night. Another time, in a different class, the little girl revealed her identity on day 1, hoping everyone would protect her. The villagers ended up sacrificing her, fearing the werewolf would turn her at night. But she was lying and she was not the little girl. She was the angel and she won the game. The witch finds out the identity of the werewolf. That werewolf realized the issue and began accusing the witch of being a werewolf. Being a convincing speaker, they managed to get the villagers to sacrifice the witch. That's it. Thank you for watching. Feel free to ask questions in the comments. And you can also play the game with your friends. And if you are the type of person who has friends, you don't need to brag about it.